Saigo dano watkunuradu Kahsennenhawe Sky-Deer yujats dano uwa wanizarade. We're doing the Grand Chiefs update, and just wanted to say watkunuradu zewagwegu zi osaraze nigahawi. Right, we're going into 2024, new year. Hopefully everybody's feeling, invigorated to start on a new foot. I know I am, and looking forward to getting back into health and fitness and eating different. And obviously everybody makes resolutions and change that they would like to see for the new year, and hopefully we'll stick to them. So definitely a lot has been going on at the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake in the last little while. You might have seen recently the resignation of Ratitsénhaienhs Michael Delisle. Obviously this came as a shock to most of us at the council table, but nonetheless, when an individual feels that it's their time, obviously health, family, and issues have to take paramountcy. He's definitely contributed his time serving this community. So, we wish him all the best. Yeah, it's going to be tough to fill those shoes. Somebody who has been in the role for that long, with that much experience and knowledge in the position, also being a former Grand Chief. I looked to him many times for advice, to bounce ideas off, looked at him as a role model and a friend. And definitely he's going to be missed, but of course he's still staying within the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake now, taking on a position as the registrar overseeing the Kahnawake of Kahnawake law and the Kahnawake residency law. So again, we wish him all the best in his future in that new role. And as he mentioned, he's still, going to remain close by if ever, we need to reach out to him or lean on him for any information on the files that he had. So I guess the next step in terms of that as well is we know that there's an election upcoming this summer in July. We're not required to do a by-election because it's more than half the term, and definitely going to have to do some shuffling and ensure that we pick up the slack and do a distribution of the portfolios that he held and the work that he was doing and carry that into the next couple of months. So we'll probably be doing an exercise at the next council meeting and looking at, who is going to shoulder some of that responsibility and that work. Another thing I felt was important to address, we had a community meeting on December 12th. It was pretty late in the year for us to have a community meeting, and I understand, it's very close to the holidays. Typically what we would do is schedule in advance, the winter, spring, summer, and winter community meetings. And, we've been keeping them quarterly because in the past, community meetings were really the only way for people to get information from the Kahnawake or Ratitsénhaienhs. Nowadays, we have press releases, social media, MCK Friday, KTV. There's so many ways for people to get their information, as well as the local newspapers. So I don't think the necessity to meet monthly is a requirement, hence why we've kept it quarterly. We don't get that much participation. We even tried to incorporate the kiosks to give people, one-on-one opportunities to come and engage with us directly, to bring issues. And something that's been lacking and missing, I think, is community meeting guidelines and how, we conduct ourselves in meetings. In the last two ones that we've had, I've seen a significant increase in a lack of respect, some cussing, some grandstanding, some, all over the place. And it's very, I feel, counterproductive. I've heard complaints from community members saying, the format and the way that we have these meetings has to change, because I don't feel comfortable. I can't sleep at night. I'm not talking about me. This is what I've heard from community members, and that this isn't the way we should be. We espouse and say we're Kahnawake, we're Kahnawake, we're supposed to, come at each other from a place of sariwagunyastak and respect and skana and gahnigurio and all these principles and values that, we're always so proud of. But for some reason, when we've been getting into these gathering spaces and having these meetings, some of that seems to be going out the door, and I don't think it's the way we would like to see our community conduct its affairs. You know, we're all from here, we're all genuinely concerned about community issues and where things are going, our future, our children. So, you know, I think what's important now is that we develop guidelines, a community meeting guideline. I don't want to have to bring in the past, I had heard there was a sergeant at arms and stuff like that. No, I think in terms of the community that we could self-regulate and say expectations that we want to see for these community meetings that we have, so that we can get more people to come. Because if this is the kind of, bad news travels quickly in our community, that if this is what people are hearing, oh, did you hear the community meeting went like this? And, chiefs are being insulted, and, that's not the kind of way that, and then what does that say about if other people are interested in running for these positions in the future? Nobody wants to be a target, especially community members, right, that are just going there and want to voice their opinion and concerns, to have people eye rolling and humming and hawing when people are trying to make points that are very important to them. So I hope that's something we're going to change in 2024, the way we conduct our community meetings. And so more to come. I think this week I'll be doing a MCK Friday and also addressing it on the radio. I know Deodzistogwate Jessica Lazar would also like to talk about her experience and, what she felt at the last community meeting, being subject of personal attacks. So let's do better for 2024. Like I said, there's no shortage of issues and things that are coming down the pike, but there's also a lot of positive. And I think we tend to forget sometimes as KahnawakeTV just how lucky we are and how fortunate. If you look around our community, there's a lot of good things that are happening, a lot of positive events. Winter Carnival is going to be starting up soon, doing things with families and taking care of each other. I know recently there was a major house fire too on Christmas. How devastating, for a family to have to endure something like that. But again, a testament to our community when people are going through tough times, our ability to pull together. I heard of the amazing fundraising effort and, the Legion opening up right away, accepting donations for the family. That's the kind of things that our community should be standing for, that we take care of each other. We say we're a collective of families. As KahnawakeTV, we take care of each other, and that's what we need to see more of. There's been a lot of tragedies. I know people tend to say it's rampant in our community about the drug issue, drinking and driving. So it's not always the council, and I think a lot of times we take a lot of blame for things that are going on in the community, but we all have to do our part and try to make things better, and I think the 12 people who have put their names forward to sit on this council have made that commitment. Every day I go to work, it's something different. The challenges are different. I don't think people really, and I know there's some new ones at the table who will tell you, never in my wildest dreams that I think that this is the amount of work, pressure, issues, things that we have to deal with, right? When you think about it, we're dealing with the federal government, the provincial government, municipal government, community issues, every single thing under the sun that we have to be cognizant of. And, things are constantly coming to the table. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of stress. And I appreciate those of you who check in, right? They ask me like, how are you? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you good? Because the pressures of a role like this are, it's tough, and somebody's got to do it. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm very honored to be in this position and to do the role and the work that I do for this community. We're on the cusp of some amazing things. There's a lot of opportunity. Like I said, everybody is looking at First Nations and how they can do better, right? This whole concept of reconciliation. You see more people wanting to come to the community to learn about us. The Cultural Center project, we did a major groundbreaking for that. So that's upcoming and ongoing. There's other projects that we're going to be announcing in this upcoming year that I'm sure the community is going to be very happy and excited about. So stay tuned. I know a lot of times too, we're so busy in our day-to-day lives that, you know, we don't take time to pick up the paper or to read the news or to come to a kiosk. But there's a lot, and I think that's a responsibility of community, right? Stay engaged, stay on top of what's happening, because in the last little while, I don't know how many issues I've talked to community and they're like, I didn't know about that. How come you don't tell us? And I'm like, the information is there. How are you getting your information? So I think that's important as well. What is your way of staying connected to the community? It's not just Mohawk Council of Kahnawake, obviously. There's so many organizations out there that are doing great work. KSCS and Dewa Duni Zakta and the Cultural Center, the Youth Center. There's more resources in this community than there's ever been for us to put together any kind of initiatives, projects. Our youth have every opportunity to do whatever it is they want to put their minds to. I was recently at the opening night for the Marvel What If, and to see Kahnawake Ronu and Aguzas Ronu, you know, there's our voices and our language on the big screen. Amazing things like this are going to continue to happen. So stay positive, and be a part of the positive momentum that's coming. So I know, you know, I wanted to try to keep this one brief. It's basically to say we're in a new year. There's good things coming. Obviously, there's always going to be challenges, but I think as a community, you know, we could always pull together and overcome some of those challenges. And there's no shortage when it comes to some of the issues, I'll say, that we're having with external governments, right? There's been legislation that has been passed in the last little while, like Bill 96 and the recent one now of them wanting to recognize Métis. There's things that we're going to have to be pushing back on and fighting for and asserting, you know, our rights and who we are. So we would hope that the community is standing with us, standing behind us as we go down this road. And so, yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. Obviously, more to come, and tune into the radio on Friday the 12th, I think, is when I'll be on, if this goes out prior to that. And yeah, so more to come. Stay tuned, Kahnawake Ronu, and Tony Wanage Woman Izarade.